Well, hello and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. Almost didn't get in there. How are you doing today? It's Thursday, the day of Thor. Thor's Day. I hope you had a great week so far. I've had a pretty good week so far. It's been a busy week. Things have gone great in the rehearsals, for the Shakespeare, because I do the Shakespeare. And yeah, I probably won't talk about that because reasons. Anyway, I hope you guys have had a great week. We're going to talk about some fun stuff, at least for us today, and we'll see what happens. Let's see. What can we do to you guys today? Let's do this.
Have you sinned again? Oh, and it's bad this time. A chicken just won't do. But wait, you don't have a goat for your burnt offering. Oh no, the Lord's wrath is upon you.
Insignificant person whose name I don't know, you have sinned. Probably. I shall smite thee.
What do you do? You're all out of goats. She left you for another man.
Fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles.
No goat? No problem. Just light one of these bad boys and let the sweet, savory scent of burning built flesh rise up to the heavens.
Is that goat?
It's easy, it's fast, and deluxe models even have patented technology that produces a goat screaming sound as the wick burns.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented candles. Save a goat, burn a candle.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles are part of our You Do You Jew interfaith outreach program.
When you sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. When the Lord requires that pungent smell, light a candle or you're going to hell.
You guys are absolutely fantastic. I'm reading the chat here. Patriot of the West, thank you. If I'm live for a few hours, I appreciate it. Thank you. I probably won't be. I got things to see and people to do after the show. But hey, whenever, if ever, if you can't, that's okay, man. It's no worries. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the support you guys can give me. And if you can't, that's cool too. Heck, just showing up, being here, that doesn't mean don't give me money. Good morning, everyone. Beard of Empathy asks, do you have anything stronger than goat? Well, maybe, but the law is against human sacrifice. Oh, so that's what they did. They were tired of giving up their goats, or the goat wasn't strong enough, so they had to, interesting, step up their game. Wow. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining us. Good morning, 3DM. How are you doing? I hope you're having a great week so far. You and the little minions, your minions, I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Gary Priestley, hey, I am the goat. Good morning, all of you wonderful people. Thank you, Gary Priestley. Kinsey is here. Happy day of Thor, fellow burners. Ace Trades is here. Jeff Shaw. Good morning, Jeff. Cool. Kind 9 is here kicking it. At least Kind 9 may be listening off to the side, some business. So good morning, everyone. I hope you have had a great week. I've been doing some studying of the Bible. So I've been taking some notes, and I would like to ask you today, my friends. I'm gonna open up a special notes section here just for today. I know you guys would be excited. Now, I want to, here we go. Let's go here. And I want to say, if you have any particular thing in the Bible that you think is like an atrocity or something like that, let's bring it up today and talk about it. Hit me up in the chat here in the open chat. We'll talk about it. I'm going to just keep adding little things that destroy Christianity to my little list of things. I thought, I'd just reach out to my friends in the chat. Lots of you guys have good. You'll be like, oh yeah, there's this one scripture where this. Hook me up. Let me know. I'm going to make a list and we'll see how that goes. Let me move over here. Right. And good morning. All right, let me pull this down. I got my list up and it's ready to go. There we go. Good morning, everyone. Josephus. Well, Josephus, that's actually a good thing. I'm going to mark Josephus and I'm going to mark. I'm going to write them both down, both of their favorite go-tos whenever it comes to those, and see what how they work. Let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. Part of the deal is that with their, it doesn't seem to matter, does it? We can tell them over and over again that, hey man, that doesn't count. It doesn't count. They weren't alive at the time when, blah, blah, they don't give a shit. But it's good to know. Good morning, host the demon. How are you doing? Hey, good morning, Chris. Give them hell or something that exists, maybe. No shit, huh? No shit. Well, so there's that. I figured I would throw that out there, guys. If you guys had anything in specific that you wanted to talk about or wanted me to cover or wanted me to know about, like our friend here in the chat, Anka, has given me several things to look into. One of, I think what I'm going to do, Anka, if you will let me know in the chat, if you're in the chat, or hit me up in the Discord and let me know what the best day, if there's a best day next week to talk about the things that we discussed, the things that the Eastern Orthodox, the Russian Orthodox Church have done. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Most people have no idea about the scope and volume of atrocities that's been committed in the name of the Lord or by those claiming to work in the but we've got an interesting thing. So don't put it in the chat, because man, if you do, I'll miss it. Hit me up in the Discord, please. We'll talk about that. Let's see here. Hi, Hyper. Good morning, Hyper. Says atheists actually believe that God exists. They just hate him, but they can't do anything to him, so they attack what he said or his people. I want to tell you, I want to kind of speak at you. Let me speak at you for just a minute. I want to put that pin up. Hyper, I'm going to call you Hyper. When I first started this channel, I had this theist come in the chat. What was his name? His Messenger Reveals. And he would get into arguments with my mods. And then try to pay me and say, hey man, let me talk shit to your mods. Here's $20. And I'm like, no, dude, I don't care. So we kind of went through that. And then there for quite a while, I had this thing where it really does kind of make me feel icky. No offense. Anytime a theist or a believer gives me money, it's probably I don't know why, it's just odd. Maybe it feels in a way as though because once money exchanges hand, some people expect more than me to just read the shit out on the screen. Like I owe you something. Like if you were cool, that'd be one thing. But a super chat's I hope you guys don't misunderstand what I'm trying to say. Just because you're a Christian, I've had people actually give me $5 and say something in the chat that is offensive, so that I would have to have me say that offensive word. I don't do that. You can pay me money for that, whatever you want to. So I appreciate at least that, if you're going to throw me coin, you're not doing any of that weird shit. You're stating your points and all that business. Thank you. The continuation of that story has to be that I was telling my wife, I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right in my body to be taking money from these people. The wife's like, what? She's like, you take money, you take their money, you take their money. I'm like, okay, I'll take their money. If you're a female out there and part of a relationship, you almost certainly understand her position. So thank you. I will read this again because I want to address it. Hyper, let me do this. I do want to see here. Oh, more money from you, in fact. Let's see. Let's pin this, and I want to say something. All right, so let me go here and just make sure I got caught up on everything. Ooh. I just remember. All right, hold on a minute. Let's do here. So atheists actually believe that God exists. They just hate him, but they can't do anything to him, so they attack what he said or his people. And then, of course, for another $5, another $5 says the money is for you, be blessed, but the words are not for you. I understand. Okay, so here's the deal, my thinking. Your first statement is projection and incorrect. When you say, and other people say, and I've said this on the show before, whenever you say atheists actually believe that God exists, no, that's kind of projection on your part. I feel whenever a Christian comes in here and says that, what they're really saying, what they're really doing is exposing through projection the fact that they don't really believe in a God. Right? Which is, more likely. It's not very hard for me to not believe in Zeus or Apollo or Quetzalcoatl or any of those other gods or just Yeshua or any of those other, and yet you, It's easy for me to not believe in any God, like, I don't believe in those other ones, but you can't say that, right? It's hard for you to go, I believe for certain that all these crazy stories I've been told are true. All these ridiculous things that have come across from my programming as a youth and indoctrination. This happened? Really? This happened? Really? This happened? Really? Oh, and we're supposed to believe this and this and this. Really? It's all ridiculous. That's why they have faith. So I feel it's so much easier. I mean, even you demonstrate yourself, Hyper, you demonstrate how easy it is to not believe in your God. You don't believe in Zeus, do you? I don't believe in your God the same way you don't believe in Zeus. Does it take any effort or extreme output on my part or your part to not believe in Zeus? Say it doesn't. No, it doesn't. However, you're the one who has like this eternal, it's like a bet. You're placing all your eggs in this one basket, that there's this real thing. It's true that there's this God and it exists. And the stories about it are all crazy. They're all different. There's billions of people. They've all got different stories, despite it being like the unified voice of God, despite it being the God of the unified voice of God and immutable. It's so fucking mutable. Everybody has their own opinion. It's been translated, retranslated. God has no power to protect his own word, despite how valuable it is. Listen, we're talking about the eternal salvation of the souls of billions of people. You don't write that down in crayon in the desert 4,000 years ago in a language that nobody's going to understand, and then let everybody express it and figure it out on their own. And then, it's just crazy to think that's all bullshit. Doesn't it sound like bullshit? So I really feel like it's harder for you. It's more likely that you don't believe there's a God and you're trying to self-soothe and convince yourself that there is a God than there is that I'm upset that your God doesn't exist among all the other gods that don't exist. Anyway, to continue, then you say they just hate him. We don't hate your God. That's the point. We don't believe. Do you hate Emperor Palpatine? That's how much we hate your God. Then you say, but you can't do anything to him, so you attack what he said or his people. See, this is all projection. This is all projection. Christians are actually the ones doing the attacking. They're the ones who are doing the oppressing. They're the ones who are trying to force their religion on other people. Christians are doing that. We're actually struggling underneath that, saying, stop oppressing us with your bullshit. There's not all of us as Christians here in the United States, right? But they can't do anything, so they attack what he said. It's Christians in the schools with the 10 Commandments, in the schools with the book bans, and all these other places. Right now, they had Donald Trump and the White House are now completely balls deep, sucking the Christian dick. And you know why? Because he's fixing to try to overthrow our government, and he's going to try to get as much Christian support as he can. So, yeah. Christians are the one who pretty much attack everybody. Well, Christians got in office here in the United States, and the first thing they did, what'd they do? They went after gays and trans in the military, didn't they? Very first thing. Went after gays, trans people. They went after abortion rights, because we know it's not about abortion. It's about hurting and oppressing women. The very first fucking thing they did. They go after all of these things. So who's attacking who? In fact, what the deal is, which you don't actually understand, Hyper, and I appreciate your ignorance on this, is that what's going on, here's what the deal is Christianity is essentially, here in the United States, raping everyone else. It's forcing itself on us. It's like got us down on the ground. It's stomping us. It's kicking us. It's hitting us. And at the same time, it's going, you're attacking us. You're attacking us. You're attacking the word of Jesus. Oh, please stop attacking the word of Jesus. Stop attacking the word of, your children don't want to listen to my God? Well, I'm going to put my fucking God's commandments in your school anyway. You don't want your God? No, we're going to attack another country in the name of your fucking Jesus Christ. Oh, please stop oppressing me. I'm a Christian. Stop hurting me. I'm a Christian. You just hate my God. You just hate my God is all it is, right? Oh, you just hate God. Fucking, that's ignorant. That's so ignorant. So ignorant of what really goes on in this world. No, it's the actions of its followers. That's the problem. And we're not out here attacking you. If we are, it's in reaction to what you are doing. I wouldn't have to do this if you guys wouldn't fucking put your fucking shit on our dollar bills, right? On our dollar bill. In the schools, one nation under God. No. Keep that shit out of my schools and we wouldn't have these problems. But no, you insist on forcing your bullshit on me. So I'm here going, rah, rah, right. You're going, angry atheist. He's out here trying to hurt Christians. Fucking no. I'm trying to stop you. I'm trying to talk you out of this ignorant bullshit that you believe. This is fucking ignorant. Just look at it. It's ignorant. You believe it, like Jesus was sacrificed for what the fuck? It's just the whole story's ignorant. But you go around hurting other people and forcing your bullshit on other people. And the whole time you do it, you're going, oh, please stop hurting me. Please stop offending me. Matter of fact, I am working right now, this day. I am working on a new parody commercial, and the parody commercial is for a small package. It's about this big, and it's an inflatable cross. And what the way it's working is, so here's an example. A Christian woman walks into a Starbucks or coffee. Let's call it coffee. Walks into a coffee shop. To the right, she sees a couple of young women holding hands, maybe looking each other lovingly in the eyes. Just that. And she goes over and she starts just pointing at, oh, you guys are going to go to hell and all this. And the manager stops her. Hey, you can't talk to people like that. And then the Christian lady pulls out of her pocket this little inflatable cross, drops it down and gets it pops out. And it's like this 7-foot cross, and it's got these little handles where she can climb up on it or hold on to it. And she can climb up on her cross because she's being persecuted because she can't oppress other people. Did I say that slow enough? The Christian woman is, oh my goodness, I can't lash out at these gay women in this place. Somebody is stopping me from oppressing someone. So she's got to climb up on her fucking cross. And we've got examples of that. Let's do another one here. So, this is fun. So we've got the scene. It's a Walmart. A Christian man is walking around his cross and he's loving his Jesus. And he sees a Muslim woman. Ooh, maybe even two, possibly with she's got her head covering. She's clearly he's upset. And he goes over to start telling her about how her God is wrong, how she's wrong, or how whatever these Christian people think about Muslim. I don't know really about that. I don't know that much about it. And then here comes the store manager and he's like, no, you cannot oppress these fucking women in my store. And out pops the inflatable cross. Bam. And he drops his cross and he's being persecuted. He climbs up on his cross because he's being persecuted because he can't oppress and hurt other people. I know it sounds ridiculous and it's a parody, but it's true. That's exactly what is going on here. That's what's going on here. You come into my chat, you see what we're doing. You see what's going on. I'm here actually going, these Christian motherfuckers need to stop hurting these trans people, stop hurting these other people. And you're like, oh no, Chris is saying we can't oppress people. Let me get up on my inflatable fucking cross. So let me read this again so it'll make sense to everybody. Hyper says, atheists actually believe that God exists. They just hate him, but they can't do anything to him, so they attack what he says or his people. So atheists said, we're attacking you. We're attacking you and your people, your God and your people. Is that what's going on? Is that really how you see that now? It probably is, I would bet. I thought I saw more. Okay, there we go. So, but I appreciate the coin, and the evil one does as well. Let's see. Brandano. That's a cool name. I mean, I haven't read what you got yet. I don't know if you're friend or foe. I want to read your DePetrio. That sounds like a very Italian-ish name. I got you guys. Just remember, there was an ambassador here and you fucked up. Do you mean like Jesus was the ambassador? Sort of like in the movie, what is it? Prometheus? where I mean, if you go look at the story, what the deal was, whenever they got the engineers, they were actually literally fixing to go send a plague to Earth. Right then, that's what they were going to do. They were getting in their ship and they're fixing to go hit the destroy everybody on fucking Earth button. But their own virus got them and then everything shut down, right? But the reason why they were going to do that was because they sent their ambassador, Jesus, hashtag Jesus, and we fucking executed him. So they were going to wipe us out. That's the story of Prometheus. I think that's funny. I mean, I dig it. I'm picking up what they're putting down. Let's see. Reps says, may God help you, angry old man. Help me up. Well, one of the things, unfortunately, is your God has to protect me from your own God creature. So I don't think I need your God's help. I'm doing all right without your God's help. How are you doing? Are you doing all right? Reps for Jesus. Can I talk to you just for a minute? I'm going to pin this here just for a second, Reps. And now the chat does go by fast. I may not be able to see this, but I just want to mention there's this thing, have you ever heard of narcissism? I'm just curious, how much of a narcissist are you? Sometimes you talk about the reason why the Tower of Babel was destroyed is because they wanted to reach the sky and be like God, or which is not true. At worst, it says they just wanted to make a name for themselves, and that was not humble enough for the Lord, and He destroyed them for it. But you're humble. You're humble. Reps for Jesus. You're humble. That's true. The one true living God in the entire universe. The one who created everything, 2 trillion galaxies. Just so many uncountable things. This God creature who can watch every flower, every leaf, every petal on every flower, every leaf on every tree. And it loves you. Aren't you special? It loves you. And you're here. You've even put your name. You've even named yourself. So maybe like whenever you were putting your name in, or all the time, Jesus is going, look at that. He even puts my name in his fucking shit. That's cool. That's cool. When you get up to heaven, is St. Peter going, you know what? We weren't going to let your ass in because that one time you raped that chicken. But because you named yourself Reps for Jesus on YouTube, bam, Jesus just hooked us up, said, I got a call right from the guy, right? That's not really what you think, is it? And then there's this notion that you, my friend, have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. He's there for you. He wants to be there for you, my friend. Reps for Jesus. He wants to be there for you. My regulars know what's coming, right? Yeah, he's there for you. He loves you. But fuck all those little children who get raped in his own fucking house by his own goddamn priest. He's powerless to help them. Their little prayers. Oh, Jesus, please make it stop. No, he's coming again, Jesus. Please make it stop, please. But no, Jesus loves you. Right. You people are fucking sick. You're sick. You're a fucking narcissist. How narcissistic are you to think all of those things? The entire creator of the entire universe wants a personal relationship with your shitty ass, with your narcissistic, full of shit, pathetic. I don't know you personally. I'm just going, reps for Jesus. It's like you're reps for Jesus or simps for Jesus. I'm not even in a bad mood. I'm just like, damn, guy. Let's see, is Kelly here? Aaron DeLang, by whose standards are things correct? That's a great question, Aaron DeLang. Whose standards are things correct? Can you tell me, please? You could say by God, but then we got to go, which God? Your God? The Muslim God? The Jewish God? Oh, your God. Your God is the right one. That's right, Aaron. You are the man. You have chosen the correct God. Now you just got to make sure you're choosing the correct branch of that religion, because they sound to worship differently, and every voice they hear from their God creature seems to be different. So where is this singular one place where all the standards are correct in your religion? In Christianity, they've been 2,000 years murdering each other because they disagree on that singular voice that you claim you have. Really? Where do you get your morals from? Where are things correct? If you're just particles in motion, right, with a God watching over you, and that God thinks killing children is okay, as it tends to do, then you're just particles in motion that are going to do the will of that angry God creature. Am I wrong or what? Yeah. This whole notion that you have objective morality, that's ridiculous. It's very subjective. All right. All right, so today you have this subjective one. Tomorrow you're going to become a Muslim, or you're going to change your views, or any of that business. You subjectively choose which God to follow, how deeply you want to follow it, how long you want to follow it, whether you want to get up every morning and do everything that Jesus required, or do you do everything Jesus required? Or have you ever plucked out any of your eyes because they offended you? Have you cut off any of your hands because they offended you? You're telling me you've gotten to this age in your life and you've been a good Christian and you still have all your hands and all your fucking eyeballs? So you just pick and choose subjectively which one of those fucking rules you want to follow. Is that kind of how it is? Did you give away all your belongings and seek to follow the Lord? No, you decided to subjectively not do that. So the commercials, the crude jokes, every time you say his name, as I said, attacking his word and his people because you can't hurt him. You know, I'm going to say it. I'm going to pin that. You're right, Hyper. I can't hurt him. He doesn't exist. You're right. I attack his word because it's ridiculous. It is. It's ridiculous. Anybody, if you're new watching, go to destroyingchristianity.com. It's not perfect. It's new. I haven't put a lot of there, but there's enough there. Go look. The word of God is far, far, far from perfect. Far from perfect. And this whole notion that we're attacking his people because wait. Damn you, God. Let me throw a rock. I can't reach God. Let me go kick. Where's a Christian? Does that make even sense to you? That's just ignorant. That is, no. You do not hear the entire point I made about how your guys are putting your shit on me. And that's what I said at the time. I believe, even through my cannabis riddled brain, I remember saying, despite going through all the reasons why you guys are actually oppressing us, and our reaction is that. It's a reaction, not an action, despite all of that. All the examples I cited, all of that shit. Your response is just to say, every time you say his name, attacking his word and his people because you can't hurt him. You just literally repeated what you said and ignored everything. I didn't take anything out of context. No, it was all true, everything I said. And you just ignored it. Didn't you? You don't give a fuck. You don't actually see yourself as an oppressor of other people. Fascinating. The wife still likes your money, though. Thank you. Let's see. How are you oppressed by us, says Juiced. Okay, Juiced, here's the deal. There's lots of ways, in fact. One of them, I'll give you some... Fuck, I have to go through this all the goddamn time. Who's trying to ban books in schools? Juiced. Is it the Muslims? Is it the Jews? Is it the Quetzalcoatl's? Who is it? It's the Christians. It's the Christians that are banning books in schools. It's the Christians that are putting the Ten Commandments in schools in the United States. They're forcing their religion on our children. Now you're like, oh, well, that's not that big a deal. All right, well, I tell you what, why don't we take that 10 Commandments out of there? And why don't we put the Muslim Hadith in there? Would you like that? Would you? Oh, no, my God, we can't have that. Because it would expose your child every day to the notion and idea that their God is the real God, and you wouldn't never want that. But no, you want to do that to our children. The whole abortion ban thing here, the women, every time a woman dies in a parking lot now because her doctor is afraid he'll lose his license or get sued by some religious group, that's all Christians. It's you forcing your bullshit on other people. How are we being oppressed by you, by the way? Have you not noticed that? Who didn't Donald Trump just this past weekend have a 9-hour thing at the White House embracing Christianity, Christian nationalism, Jesus Christ, prayer things, all this? Donald Trump, our government is actually embracing openly Christianity because he plans on overthrowing our government, and he wants your support. He will when it comes time. I mean, his name is probably in the Epstein files as many times as Epstein's. It really is a Trump Epstein files, but he's got that Christian support because you guys are really good at sacrificing the children, aren't you? Very good at sacrificing the children to protect the man, aren't you? I mean, I've got examples. Oh my, I have thousands of examples of Christians sacrificing the children to protect the church. I mean, in the same way, in fact, whenever you think about how there are Christians, how many Christians out there, whether it's a secretary, a church minister, a pastor, preacher, any of those, not who actually harmed the child. That person didn't harm the child. No, they didn't. They hid it. They either defended the person, the perpetrator. They attacked the victim. They moved the perpetrator around from one place to another place so he could get more victims. A whole gaggle of people sacrificed the children for the church. So it's nothing. It's not really a big surprise at all that Christians would do that, is it? Because you do it. Look at Donald Trump. So that brings us back to Donald Trump. That's just the perfect example. Yeah, sure. You don't give a shit. No, give a shit that Donald Trump was almost certainly, I'm saying allegedly, almost certainly a child rapist, serial rapist, possibly child murderer, possibly child serial murderer. It has been, in fact, allegedly, I think isn't it somewhere over in Europe, they're talking about looking into the Epstein files as an actual human atrocity, on a level of a human atrocity because of what they did. And Donald Trump is in there. But you know what? He's Jesus. Jesus talks to Donald Trump, and I mean, it's just so embarrassing. How many Christians believe Donald Trump is the third coming? I mean, you can't really deny it. I mean, you can, but of course, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're going to say. Oh, we really got a bingo. We got to have a bingo for this shit because I know it's coming. Those aren't real Christians. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They are exemplary Christians. Christians. Yeah, Christians. They love Jesus. They love their stories about Abraham and their stories about Noah. Noah's Ark, 2x2 into the Noah's Ark. It's just one of Noah's Ark drowning all the babies in the planet. They love the story of the Pharaoh and how Moses was freed from the Pharaoh and Moses got to take his people. Let my people go. And Moses got to lead the people. They sold the water and they spread the seas. And Moses took it and the water went and killed all the Egyptians. Yeah, but they don't really tell you that they didn't have to do that, does it? Your pastors don't tell you that, yeah, I mean, he did harden Pharaoh's heart. Pharaoh was going to let him go, but the God creature wanted to show you how evil and powerful and disgusting it was. It literally tells you that. That's why it hardened his heart, so it could show you its disgust and power. The last of its powerful things. Now, go look at that again, my friend. Go look at that. The God creature, your God creature, hardened the Pharaoh's heart so it could show the world, Egypt, how disgusting. Plagues, famine, all this business. And finally, the 10th plague is for the death of the firstborn of every family, the first breach of every womb. God creature murdering firstborn children. That's how he chose to show who it was. That's what your God creature is. Let me give you a better example, however. Okay? What happened? Why didn't this happen? Why didn't this happen? God rocks up and says, you know what? You have agreed to allow my people to go. May you live in peace and bountiful. I will bless you and your people. You really should worship me over your own gods because I am the one true God. I am merciful and I am wonderful. And then it would tell Moses, you've been freed by this wonderful, wonderful Pharaoh who may turn to believe in us. And I want you to go in peace to the promised land, which is over here. And while you go there, I want you to visit with everybody and spread the word of a loving God on your way. And all the people who engage you between here and there, I will soften their hearts because that's within my ability to do so. And you and they will live peacefully amongst each other. And they will see how powerful I am and how glorious I am. And they will eventually turn to my ways too. That could happen. Couldn't it? Did it? No. No, the Pharaoh wanted to release God's people, and the God creature hardened his heart, so he wouldn't. So it could show how horrific it was. Go read your fucking Bible. It admits to that. So I could show you what I did. I went ahead and I did these 10 fucking plagues. And the last one, of course, being the reason for Passover, which Jesus celebrated. Remember, Jesus celebrated Passover. That's what the Last Supper was. What is Passover, my friends? What was Passover? Can we say it slowly together? Passover was when the Pharaoh was pissing off the God creature, and the God creature was like, all you people, actually, I think it was, all you people, if you're a good Jewish person, take and go harm an innocent lamb, take its blood, because hurting innocent things is good, right, Christians? Hurting innocent things is good. Take the innocent blood of that, the blood of that innocent creature, and put it over your door. Because if you don't, our loving and forgiving God creature is going to slaughter your firstborn fucking child. That's what happened. Right? And then the God creature, after killing all their children, Moses and his people were leaving. They were going away. And you know what the Pharaoh was doing? Oh, this is so fucking sick. The Pharaoh was like, fuck, I just got my ass kicked. There is no way I'm going after those people. But you know what the God creature did? It hardened Pharaoh's heart, so he would go after Moses. It literally fucking says that. It hardened Pharaoh's heart again, trashing his free will, grabbing the Pharaoh's free will and shoving it up his ass. So he hardened Pharaoh's heart. And the Pharaoh goes and chases him. And thousands of warriors, thousands of men with families, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, pursue the chosen people. And they get drowned whenever the water comes back, right? You guys believe that the water comes crashing back down and drowned the Egyptian army. Yay. But why did it drown the Egyptian army? It didn't have to. It didn't have to. But it's evil. Your God creature is fucking evil. It's evil. Even Jesus, the whole Jesus, well, I've just described to you the God creature. The whole Jesus thing is like, listen, man, believe in me, and I will let you go to a good place where the God creature is happy. But if you don't believe in me, you're going to a worse place, really, literally, than anything it did to anybody in the Old Testament. Is that right? Could you not literally say that? The God creature does a lot of shitty things to a lot of people, good people, bad, it doesn't matter. A lot of really shitty things to them. Swallows them up whole, sends snakes to serpent them and sting them and stuff. But none of them does it burn in a pit of fire forever, does it? Not a one does it do that to, but it's going to do that to you. The worst possible pain and punishment, but that's right behind Jesus Christ, the loving and forgiving Jesus Christ. Through him, you are saved from the evil God fucking creature. The same one that I just described could have peacefully led his people from Egypt into the promised land. Could have. Why couldn't it have? Why couldn't it have? Well, really, here's the reason why, my friends. I mean, Christians, especially, pay attention. Because this story was written by people who lived a long time ago in a harsh place and worshipped hateful gods. I mean, yeah, it's worshiping him is kind of a thing. You don't really worship them, do you? You don't. I mean, there were the same kind of people in South America who thousands of years ago worshipped evil gods, and you don't run around worshiping them. Why do you worship the God creature of some ancient desert-dwelling tribe of people? What's the deal? What makes that God creature any more powerful or special than this one down here? Quetzalcoatl, Zeus, Apollo, Thor. Come on. I mean, really. And you all, I feel him in my body. Well, yeah, so does everybody. You know, we've got 100 million Muslim women over there that would attest that they feel Jesus or feel Muhammad when they pray. I mean, if that's all it takes is the feeling in your brain, man, you're fucked. Because so, let's see. I got lots of smiley faces. Let's see what we got. This guy is so uneducated, ignorant, and scripture would twist him. Everything he says don't prove it's Bible. That's evil. You know, Dustin, you're not listening to my words. You should really listen to my words, Dustin. You should. Take it. Listen to my words. Go look up the scriptures. You want an example? Would you like an example, Dustin? I have a scripture for you here. And this is fun. I love this game. I have this scripture here for you, Dustin, in which Jesus talks about he's going to come back and commit atrocities on the level at which Hitler dreamed about doing. Hitler would sit in his home and just masturbate thinking about the atrocities he could commit if he could commit atrocities like Jesus is talking about committing. Would you like to read them with me? I mean, as if you like the Bible. Let's go to the Bible. Let's go to the Bible. I like going to the Bible. This is my favorite. Are you still here? Or did you leave already? Did you leave? Why would you only do this to the Bible and not the Quran? Hey, man, I'm going to be brief about that, Dustin, because the Muslims aren't here forcing their bullshit on us. 10 Commandments in schools, book bans, Christians in our White House. It's not Muslims doing that. It's Christians. That's why I'm dealing with Christians. I'm not for Islam. They're just not here in my grill. Let's look here. Let's look at Matthew, my friend, 31. Or 13, I'm sorry. Sorry, microphone's in the way. Matthew 13, 41, 42. Jesus says, the Son of Man, that's Jesus, will send out his angels, which kind of confirms that it's Jesus. Are you with me, Dustin? Dustin, are you with me? Jesus right here. Jesus right here, the Son of Man. Matthew, go look at this. Is your Bible. Go see if I'm taking it out of context. Don't tell me I'm taking it out of context. I'm telling you where it's at. You go look for yourself. Anybody else that's watching, and they're going, don't listen to this guy. He's taking it out of context. Go look for yourself. Matthew 13, 41 and 42. The Son of Man will send out his angels, and they will weed out of his kingdom everything that causes sin and all who do evil. Now, remember, Hitler probably got 5-6 million Jews or some business. We're talking about the Lord Jesus Christ murdering everyone who is not a Christian. We're talking about billions with a B. Now, that's just everyone who's not a Christian. Even amongst the Christian, the Jesus creature says, the way to the Lord is a narrow path. Not all who raise up my name will be saved, remember? So even those of you who call yourself Christian, most of you won't be saved either. So that's even more of you over here who are just slaughtered by this fucking God creature. I'm not done yet, though. Wait for me. The Son of Man will send out his angels, and they will weed out of his kingdom everything that causes sin and all who do. Now you're over there, oh, well, weed out. They mean by weed out, they're just going to blink them into existence or a happy eternity away from here. Let me continue reading the rest of the scripture. It says, loving, merciful, kind, forgiving, Jesus, Son of Man, Jesus, Christ, Messiah, Jesus, loving, forgiving, loving, merciful. Matthew 13, 41, 42. The Son of Man will send out his angels, and they will weed out of his kingdom everything that causes sin and all who do evil. This is Jesus speaking. They will throw them into the blazing furnace where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Jesus is talking about burning in a furnace billions of people. People who didn't believe in the same thing he wanted them to believe religiously. That's an atrocity. I mean, that's 100 million Hitlers or however. That's so many Hitlers. It's so many Hitlers right there. Right? Is it not right? It's literally talking about gathering up anybody who is not a Christian. Let's just start with that. And Jesus is talking about throw them in a blazing furnace where they will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. I gave you the scripture. Don't fucking fuck with me on that bullshit out of context. It's just ignorant now at this point. It embarrasses you, not me, when you say out of context. Now, here's the deal. Go read further into the same chapter. Jesus says, Matthew 13, 47 through 50. Merciful, out of context, doesn't know what he's talking about. Matthew 13, 47 through 50. Once again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net that was let down into the lake and caught all kinds of fish. When it was full, the fishermen pulled it up on the shore. Then they sat down and collected the good fish in baskets, but threw the bad away. That doesn't sound so bad, does it? He just kind of threw us away, right? He discarded us. But your God creature's not nice. It doesn't just blink people out of existence. Let me continue. They sat down and collected the good fish in baskets, but threw the bad away. Matthew 13, 49. This is how it will be at the end of the age. The angels will come And they will separate the wicked from the righteous and throw them into the blazing furnace where there'll be weeping and gnashing of teeth. We're literally, I mean, you guys, listen, man, Christians, you don't like the idea of your Jesus committing an atrocity, or that we're talking about him committing an atrocity, like he's the meek and mild, forgiving, turn the other cheek Jesus. No, your Jesus Christ brags about murdering billions of people and throwing them into furnaces. Matthew chapter 13. Now you're like, no. Pardon me. No, that's not true. That's not what it means. That's not what it means at all. Yeah. What's the story of Revelation about? What happens in Revelation? When the Lamb returns? When the Lamb returns covered in blood, right? The Lamb returns in a robe covered in blood. It takes up its armies and it sends them down to the earth, and for billions of people get slaughtered. You know that, right? That's the entire ending of your religion. You sit there and go, Jesus, I can't wait for you to return. Do you not realize that the subtext after that says, so you can murder billions of people who do nothing but don't worship you? Women, children, all elderly people, the sick, the infirmed. You're going to come back, my Lord, and you're going to murder billions of people in a horrific fashion over years, according to Revelation. That's what you pray for, Christians. You pray for the murder and destruction of millions. And they're not even wicked demons, are they? Are they really? You don't think everybody out there that's not a Christian is a wicked demon. You know they're good people. You know there's lots of good people out there who do nothing but just don't believe in Jesus. And you can't say, well, those people will be saved too, because that's not true. Even Jesus says half the fuckers that believe in me aren't going to be saved. So you can't say even the good ones that don't believe in him won't or will, right? You know what I mean? So where's any of this seem like merciful, loving, forgiving? Huh. You are repulsive, says Dust. Yeah, you probably wish, man. That's the whole deal. As I mentioned earlier, I'm just pointing out the thing. I'm pointing it out, dude. Dust. Why am I repulsive? What have I said here that was repulsive? What did I say here that was repulsive? Dust, I read you the chapter in Matthew where Jesus himself claims that he is going to come back and kill everybody on this planet who does not believe the way he does. And he's going to do it by literally burning them in furnaces. Matthew chapter 13. And they say it twice. I read it. You go fucking read it. Who's repulsive? Is that not repulsive? I'm repulsive. The guy who doesn't worship a God creature who's going to come back and slaughter every man, woman, and child on this planet in bloody fashion. I'm the one that's repulsive for showing you this. Did you not know this? Did you not know it says this? You think the Lamb, meek and mild? You do know where's the part where Jesus tells you to beat your slaves? You know Jesus told you literally to beat your fucking slave, right? Would you like for me to find that scripture for you so you can go tell me I'm taking it out of context? Let me do that. And before you go there, and I know you're going to go there, I actually looked up the original Greek. And it is slave. It does say slave. Luke chapter 12. Jesus speaking, Luke chapter 12, 47 through 48. 47 and 48. The servant who knows the master's will and does not get ready. Are you there, Dust? Because I'm the repulsive one. You're the one that follows this Jesus. Stay with me. I'm the repulsive one. Luke 12, 47 through 48. The servant who does not know the master's will and does not get ready or does not do what the master wants will be beaten with many blows. I want you to know that is indeed slave, the word doulos. And also, as you probably know, in most, I think all societies, there are extensive differences between servants and slaves. You don't normally can beat your servant. They can go the fuck away anytime they want to. This is a slave, and it uses the word slave. And this is Jesus, Luke 12, 47, 48. The servant who knows the master's will and does not get ready or does not do what the master wants will be beaten with many blows. You're Jesus telling people, and use it as a metaphor, makes it even worse. Like if he were just using it as a metaphor for like following the Lord and all that business. Shit. Because, if you've been watching the show long enough, you know it gets worse, right? It doesn't stop there. You want to hear the rest? Christians, do you want to hear the rest? Are you still there, Dust? Are you still here? Because I'm repulsive. I'm repulsive. You still here? Check this out. So, to reiterate, the slave who does know the master's will and does wrong will be beaten, or does not do the master's will be beaten. Luke 12, 48. But the one who does not know and does things deserving of punishment will be forgiving in peace and love. You will not beat this slave. You will love him, forgive him, and inform him that son of a bitch. That's not what it says in the original Greek. In the original Greek, it says, pardon me if my accent fucks up my Greek, it says, Luke chapter 12, verse 48, but the one who does not know, the slave, the fucking slave, and you can kid yourself about bond servant or all that bullshit. You're just lying to yourself. Go look up the real fucking slaves. The slave who does not know that he did wrong, who did not know the master's will, but it accidentally did wrong, he will be beaten with few blows. Jesus is telling you that the slave who did wrong knowingly should be beaten. That enough alone should dispel your myths about Jesus alone. Jesus Christ. Done. Whatever you seem to notion, candy-coated bullshit you got of Jesus growing up, Jesus Christ, lamb, meek and mild, all right here. He tells you to beat your fucking slave. Then he goes on and tells you to beat an innocent slave. Slave's innocent. He didn't know wrong. He was innocent. And your Jesus is telling him to beat him. So, Jesus, all fancy. Oh, there's another fun one. Jesus, Luke 12:49, I come to bring fire on earth, and how I wish it were already kindled. Who said that? Who said that? Christians, who said that? Luke 12:49 through 53, I have come to bring fire on the earth, and how I wish it were already kindled. But I have a baptism to undergo, and what constraint I am under until it is completed. Something's constraining the Lord. From everyone, wait, I'm sorry. Sorry. No, I can read the Bible here. Do you think I came to bring peace on earth? No, I tell you, but division. So Jesus did not come to bring peace on earth. If you see the thing that says Jesus / peace on earth, that's a fucking lie. It's a Christian taking it out of context. Somewhere else in the Bible, an angel comes out and pronounces something about peace on earth, but it's not Jesus. This is Jesus. If you see a Jesus God botherer talking about peace on earth, this is anyway. But the one who does not, wrong blows. No, but I tell you, from now on there will be, this is the good part. This is the good part. Jesus, I love you, Jesus. You're so peaceful and bringing everybody together. Do you think that I come to bring peace on earth? No, I tell you. But division. From now on, there will be 5 in one family divided against each other, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. They will be divided, father against son, and son against father, mother against daughter, and daughter against mother, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, and daughter-in-law against mother-in-law. Fascinating. Isn't that fascinating? I mean, do you guys actually go read these scriptures? You do read these scriptures, right? Do you have any idea what kind of ramifications these have had? Some of these things where Jesus is telling people to split up their families. You don't know that's never hurt somebody's family? You don't think that's ever hurt somebody's family? But I guess here's the thing, though, and bear with me about this is why Christians are more moral, apparently. It doesn't matter if it hurts somebody's family, does it? As long as they were following Jesus. So as long as they followed the word and the one even though it divided the family, as long as some of them were following Jesus, then it doesn't matter. It's perfectly moral. You can see how that's bad, right? How that's actually immoral. So this sentence, for example, is going to divide families and cause them to hate each other for a creature that you can't even prove exists. Interesting. And see, here's something else, my friends. But let's read the whole thing. No, I tell you, but division from now on, there will be 5 and 1. Okay, so here's the deal. The God creature, this is a story I really like. The God creature in Ezekiel so in Exodus, it gets pissed off at its own followers because they didn't do what he wanted it to do. And so it tells them to do these things that are wrong. They can't live by these laws. It gives them laws that they can't live by. And then it tells them in Exodus to sacrifice their firstborn children. It tells them twice in Exodus. Go look at the first one, Exodus 13. First 2 scriptures tell you to sacrifice your firstborn. So he tells them to sacrifice their firstborn child. Because my people pissed me off. It didn't do what I wanted you to do. I created laws that couldn't be followed. And I gave you ridiculous sacrifices. Sacrifice your firstborn son. Go check it out. Ezekiel 22:29. Go check it out. What does that mean for you, though? What does that mean for Christians? You're like, Chris, what does that mean for Christians? Well, here's the deal. In Exodus, the God creature, the people piss it off. So the God creature gives it ways it can't follow and tells it to da-da-da-da. Then in Ezekiel, it refers back to that. And it tells you, it says, my people were in the wilderness and they didn't do what I wanted them to do. They still worshiped the laws of the gods of their parents, despite what I told them to do. So I gave them laws they couldn't follow. And I defiled their sacrifices with their firstborn sons. And I did this so I could show them horror and so that I am the Lord. Weird, huh? Weird flex. Anyway, what does this all have to do? Doesn't it sound very similar to Christianity? Doesn't it? So you've got Judaism, which is the right way to do it, but they're not doing it wrong. The way the God creature wants them to do. So he's like, smack, here's some fake laws and a fake thing to do. And it doesn't really, you just do this shit and it's all wrong. It's really hard. You're just going to fuck up your lives the whole time trying to do it. It's never going to work. And you're going to burn in hell. Doesn't that sound like Christianity? It sounds just like he did the same thing. The God creature of Exodus 22:29 or 20:20. I'll find it. The God creature created Christianity as a fake religion to punish a sect of Jews. But no, not my Jesus, right? Made them sacrifice their firstborn son. Jesus is the firstborn son. You don't see the similarities? That's cute. You guys are so cute. Ezekiel chapter 20 through verse 20. Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 25. And this is Ezekiel talking, or God creature talking to Ezekiel. He says, son of man. He calls him son of man. That's why Jesus calls himself son of man, because he's trying to be a prophet. He says, so I gave them other statutes that were not good and laws through which they could not live. Can you live up to Jesus? You can't live up to Jesus, can you? Jesus is here and he walked a perfect life and you can't possibly live up to Jesus. So you're unworthy. You can't live up to the rules of your God. You can't. And it says so right here that that's what he does when he gets pissed off at his people. He does that to them. Ezekiel 20, you got to really sit in reflection, Christians. If you're watching this, you really got to sit and go, fuck. So I gave them other statutes that were not good and laws through which they could not follow. Number 26, Ezekiel 20, 26. I defiled them through their gifts, the sacrifices of every firstborn, that I might fill them with horror, so that they would know that I am the Lord. I could almost argue that Christianity is another example of God doing this. You're doing it wrong. You were doing it wrong back then. He punished you. You're still doing it wrong. God creature will punish a person and their descendants to thousands, the generation after generation after generation. You say, no, that's not true. But I'll give you 2 examples. I can give you more than 2 examples. Let's talk about Eve. Eve did wrong, and every woman ever since then has been punished. We've got Ham. Yeah, right. Ham went in and saw his father naked. So God creature cursed Canaan. And every generation of Canaan coming after that, thousands of generations of people. So you don't think God creature would smite a small group of people back then and mislead all these Christians? You don't think that's possible? You don't think it's fucking likely? I mean, I don't believe in any of it, but I'm just saying, it really does. It makes sense that your God creature got mad at a group of people back then and said, listen, you fuckers, you're not going to do it the way I want you to do it. Right? That's exactly what happened with Jesus. You don't want to do it the way I want you to do it. He wasn't doing it the way they want, right? You can't live up to Jesus. You can't follow those laws. You can't. You can't walk in the footsteps of a perfect man. That sounds just like what God does to what God did to his own people. Right here. Because he does that sort of thing to his own people. Because he's a fucking horror. He even says so. Verse 26, I defiled them through their gifts, the sacrifice of every firstborn, that I might fill them with horror, so that they would know that I am the Lord. Okay? Too brute? But your God is loving, right? I'm repulsive still. I'm just kind of curious if Dust is still there, still thinks I'm repulsive. Good with the licking. Licky. All right, so let's see what we got here. Dustin. Okay, yeah, ignorant. Yeah, you wish I was ignorant. Jesus has abs. I have been slain by this argument. I now humbly. Jesus had, sick abs. Have you ever seen them? Sick abs. Uh-oh. People are demanding Bailey. Doctrine of men that corrupted their minds, thinking that these wicked guys was justified in killing and destroying people that would not bow before them. It was just barbarians. I don't see how that's any different, really, to be fair. The creators are quite ugly, removing that human looks equation. Some are nightmarish and some even beastly. Ooh, yeah. Anyway, let me do this real quick. I want to do this thing. Check this out. Peep this, my homies. Ooh, what should I do to you guys today? We haven't done Wild Bill. Oh, somebody actually asked for Bailey. Bailey's the star of the show.
Finnegan!
Yes, sir. Very disturbing, I know.
Fetch me Father Finnegan.
Your Highness.
You are in the presence of His Holiness, the Pupius Maximus, guardian of the sacred fire hydrant, defender of the holy tennis ball, and eater of the golden kibble, Pup Oliver Poopsala the Fifth.
Your popedom. I heard you have a bone to pick with me.
Condoms, Father Finnegan?
No, thank you. I've got plenty.
That's what I mean. Why are you selling condoms?
Oh, you mean our Pharaoh Sombrero line of condoms. Understood.
You know how we feel about those around here.
Well, they're not to be used by the Catholics, of course.
Not for Catholics?
No, they're part of our Sinner Gonna Sin lack of faith outreach program.
A sinner gonna what?
It's like getting the tithe, but from the heretics and the heathens and the atheists.
Oh, well, when you put it like that,
But, Your Highness, this will reflect very poorly on the church.
true. You know what this means, Flanagan?
Warning label, a warning label on the box, not for Catholics in big letters.
Too subtle.
Instant purgatory if used by Catholics.
I like it. Divine branding.
Excellent, your popedom. Will there be anything else?
That will be all. You may leave.
So we have an individual here who is saying that the Abraham of the Christians and the Jews is not the same Abraham of Islam, and they are wrong. You should go look it up, but you're wrong. You're wrong. He's the same in both the father of the monotheism, both the traditions, the covenant. He had the first covenant with both recognized his traditional God-making covenant with him and the blessings of his descendants. And also the shared names. His stories involve the same key figures, including his wife Sarah, Sarai, and his nephew Lot. It's the same guy. You just don't want to think it is. Fascinating. Wonder why. The lineage. The Old Testament traces the primary lineage through his son Isaac, making him the ancestor of the Israelites, Jews, and Christians. Islam traces the primary lineage through his firstborn son, Ishmael, making him the ancestors of the Arab people. I don't see how that's any different. How is that any different? That's not a difference, in fact. That's what I always thought, too. The firstborn son, Ishmael, was kicked out into the desert, and he became allegedly the father of Islam, and Isaac is the father. I don't see why that's not the same, makes him any different. That's the same Abraham. Same Abraham. Same Abraham. And then Mecca and built a concert. Okay, so yeah, I don't see any conflicts as to why Abraham in Judaism.
Mi burrito es tan bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. El ataco bueno bueno, it stings like a bee. They told me she was his sister, now I'm plagued between the knees. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs.
Okay, accidental Pharaoh's curse. Sorry, I'm not sorry. I guess people are. I hit a button. I don't even remember what I was ranting about. I was ranting about something fantastic. I was going to smite people. However, I do want to say thank you to Flockmeister for the $2 super chat. Says, pardon me. I'm just going to burp my way through your super chat reading. Flocky says, Chris studies the Bible, so we don't have to. For $2. That's right. That's right. I do study the Bible, so you don't have to. You know what else I do? It's like a multi-pronged thing. There's multiple reasons why. I do it so you, my friends, my atheist friends, don't have to. So you can sit here and absorb the knowledge and go, man, that's cool. I didn't know that about the stuff. And one more argument we can use against the hate faith that is Christianity. But then there's also, I also do it really for the Christians too. All their lives, they've been read these stories about Jesus, and it's just been smoothed over. Jesus has been smoothed over, or the story of law, or the story of Moses. Moses is wonderful. He spread the water to save the Pharaoh and all the Jesus and all the animals 2 by 2. They don't tell you about the things that God did. They don't tell the little kids how God murdered all these people that he didn't have to murder just to show them how disgusting and vile he was. They don't show you that. Again, nowhere in the Bible, I don't think really does God creature ever do anything peacefully, calmly. Does he? He never goes to his people and goes, go here, do this peacefully with love in your heart, and you will be respected and well received. Never does it happen. It's always go there, murder everyone from here to there. Right? Do as I say, or I'm going to murder everyone. That's the God creature. So, I was going to something up. Also, so I did get another secular feelist. Got a surprise Pharaoh's curse, $2 super chat. Very true. You did indeed. So thank you very much for that. Catherine says, Jesus is King of Kings, Prince of Peace, Lord of Lords. Okay, Catherine, are you still here? I hope you're still here. I want to answer every one of your points, okay? Let's do this. Number 1, King of Kings. Jesus was never king. He never became king. He never sat on a throne. He never levied taxes. He never waged war. He was never referred to as king by any subjects. There were a group of people in John chapter 6 that tried to crown him king, and he refused and went up into the mountains to hide from them. And then whenever it was finally labeled, when he finally did get the label of king, it was as an insult by Pilate. It disgusted. King of the Jews. He spat it on him. If he'd have said, running shitty diaper of the Jews, would you come in here and go, Jesus is the running shitty diaper of the kings all the time? Or, would you do that? Because it was an insult. It was an insult. And yet you continued to use it. He didn't want to be king. Like that. Anyway, Prince of Peace, huh? We were talking about that earlier. Oh my goodness, Prince of Peace. Why don't you go read Matthew chapter 13 that we were talking about, where Jesus comes back and slaughters billions of people mercilessly by throwing them into a furnace. It's even Jesus's words. Matthew chapter 13, Jesus talks about how the Son of Man will send out his angels, the wonderful loving angels, the little baby angels, little arrows in their little. He will send out his angels, and they will lead out of his kingdom everything that causes sin and all who do evil. Everybody that's not the right kind of Christian, my friend. Everybody. You still there, Katerina? You still there? Everybody who's not the right kind of Christian. By the way, are you sure you're the right kind of Christian? Are you that narcissistic that you personally believe that you made the right choice? Because not all who worship him will be received in heaven. The road to heaven is narrow. The road to hell is wide. So are you sure you're doing it right? Anyway, let me continue. You're a Jesus creature, the Son of Man, referring to himself in the third person, will send out his angels. They will weed out of his kingdom everything that causes sin and all who do evil. They will throw him. They will throw them, billions of people, men, women, the elderly, the infirmed, children, all of these people, billions of people. They will throw them into the blazing furnace, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. You're Jesus. You said Prince of Peace. Did you say that? Did you misspell that? I think you misspelled something. And then, right after that, well, where'd it go? Come on. Let's see. Where was I? Is it Matthew, right? Matthew's where it was? Matthew 13. I'm going to memorize these things sooner or later. Matthew 13. Son of a bitch. Damn you. Matthew. You can't get away from me, Matthew 13. Then it says it again, Matthew 13, 47 through 50. Once again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net that was let down into the lake and caught all kinds of fish. Verse 48, when it was full, the fishermen pulled it up upon the shore. They sat down and collected the good fish in baskets, but threw the bad away. This is how it will be at the end of the age. The angels will come and separate the wicked from the righteous and throw them into the burning furnace, where they'll be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Matthew chapter 13 twice describes Jesus Christ committing an atrocity on a scale that's just unfucking imaginable. Billions of people. How many people are Muslim? How many Muslims are there? Are all the Muslims going to go into the furnace? Christians, is that how your peace and your loving and your merciful God believes? Matthew chapter 13. All the Muslim women, all the little Muslim teenagers and little Muslim kids, ain't never done nothing wrong outside of not believing in Jesus Christ. And they're going into the furnace with gnashing of teeth because your Jesus is merciful, the Prince of Peace. And you can't even say that, oh, because they're nice and innocent, he'll spare them. You can't say that. You cannot. He's not even going to spare people who worship him the right way. Only a few, right? Just the ones who do it exactly the right way. Or fervently enough, or whatever. Right? The Prince of Peace who told to kill babies and keep the virgin girls for themselves. I know, right? These are the same people that are like, Prince of Peace. Jesus is God. Jesus is God. Jesus is Prince of Peace. God told people to kill pregnant women by the sword. God told Moses, in fact. God told Moses to murder pregnant women. Moses, let's celebrate Moses. He's freed the people. God told Moses to murder pregnant women. Go forth unto this place, leave here and go where you will. And when you get there, kill every man, woman, and child, man-child, and every woman who has known a man. Say that slower. And every woman who has known a man. Keep only the virgin girls for yourselves. Every woman who has known a man includes pregnant women. Does it not? That's God telling Moses. But if Jesus is God, then that's Jesus, right? That's Jesus, right? Telling God or telling Moses to kill pregnant women. Pregnant infant boys, pregnant young boys, and keep the virgin girls for yourself. That's Jesus doing that, right? Prince of Peace. But it's okay because Jesus is the Lord of Lords, right? It's okay because Jesus is the follower, the giver of that one objective truth, right? Objective good comes from Jesus. So if Jesus says it's okay to kill babies and pregnant women, then it must be okay to kill toddlers and pregnant women. Right? I like it when these people come in like this. You are foolish and stupid and speak falsehood because you do not truly know him. If you did, you wouldn't be No, that's the whole deal. You're foolish. You're ignorant. You've been misled. You've been lied to. You've been indoctrinated. And I'm here to try to help break you from that. You should listen to my words. Listen to my words and go examine what I say. Don't trust me. Just go look. Go look. Go look. Let's see. DNA is much more complex than a computer top scientists say it has to be. No, they don't. That's just stupid. You just make that shit up and you make yourself look stupid when you say it. Top scientists do not. Now, you might be able to go over to maybe the Kinham Creation Museum where they got this doctor named Dr. Bob who's got an advanced degree in basket weaving or some bullshit, and he's going to be an authority on ancient archaeology, and he's going to agree somehow because he's actually literally a priest. He's going to somehow agree to the things that you think of. So you're going to go, oh, top scientist. All the other scientists say no, but that one guy, right, who thinks, they do not think that. In fact, my friends, it is getting so close. They will go and look, but still remain in denial. Interesting. It will get so close. We're getting so close to actually proving abiogenesis, the creation of life from non-life materials. They've been able to take the compounds, molecular compounds, and put them in an environment, a man-made environment, and then stimulate that environment and have it create amino acids. I mean, it's just like a short time away from now. More science, and then we'll be just completely destroy your God creature. You won't have a God at all if the only thing it lives behind is abiogenesis. Will you? It has to have a creator. And you know, this one thing that I just think is so weird is that you think that it is so complicated. What was it you were thinking about? It was so complicated. Whatever it is, it's so oh my goodness, it's so complicated. It must have a creator. How complicated? How complex do you suppose, my friend? How complicated is your God creature? Is it complicated? Is your God creature complicated? Would you say it's like infinitely complicated because it's, knows everything, it's everywhere, it sees everything, and created all this stuff? You would think it's kind of a fairly complicated creature, wouldn't you? Well, top scientists agree that if it's complicated, it must have a creator. Therefore, according to you, by the way, what created your God? By your own logic. I mean, it must have a creator by your own logic. Simply because it's complicated, it must have a creator. So, your God must have a creator. Right? Your God exists outside of time and the universe. Okay. Cool. I dig it. It means it doesn't exist. You just define that your God doesn't exist. But anyway, your God lives outside of time and the universe. So therefore, it's always existed and doesn't have to have a creator. Special pleading, anybody? But wait a second. I mean, when you stop and think, if that's something you do, in your God's creature's universe, though, in its own plane of existence, wherever that is, it's got a yesterday and a today, not literal days of the sun, but I mean, it's got a before and after, right? It's got a, last Thursday, I was sitting there thinking, I'm going to create the universe. I'm this universe. I'm going to create one here. I'm going to create it. So I did. And then last Friday, I created people. That was awesome. And then last Saturday, I drowned all them fuckers. Why not, right? And then, right. So, I mean, it kind of, and then like I destroyed the universe and I sent most of them to hell and some of them are over here in a little pit in the back. And then it destroyed the universe. Cool. And that's far from the future, right? Throughout that, though, you kind of have to realize, now, if you can't understand this, have a smart person explain it to you. You have to realize that even in your God creature's own plane of existence, it has to have a time frame of some kind to where it had a before it created the universe, and today it created the universe, or now. There's a before now, if you don't like the today and yesterday reference for God creature. So there's a before now, and then there's a after now. And what was the God creature doing before now? Did it create other universes where it had angels and it developed them and then it created our universe? It has to have a before now in its own time frame, if it exists. If it can create things outside of its own, right? So if it has to have its own time frame, or it doesn't exist, what caused it? It still has to have a beginning. Even in its own time frame, it has to have a beginning. It can't have just popped into existence, can it? Something that complicated can't have just popped into existence, can it? Not when top scientists say that something so complicated can't just happen without a creator. Some of the part of the thing is faith, man. Faith is the problem. I almost bet, I could truly believe that you ask those questions. And somebody said, man, I know it seems stupid. You just have to have faith. Right? Just have faith. Faith is something that people who want you to believe in things that don't exist see as a virtue. Right? Faith is something that people who want you to believe in something that doesn't exist will tell you is a virtue. You should put that on a bumper sticker. That's bumper sticker. Is that bumper sticker worthy? I think that's bumper sticker worthy right there. Let's do, I got to do a thing real quick. Ooh, I like this one right here. Let's do, we already did that. Let's do this one. We already do that one. Well, I know we did Pharaoh's Curse. Let's do this one.
Are you feeling the world is leaving you behind? Do you look at all the pseudoscience, rumors, and wild speculation on the internet and wonder, why can't I do that? Well, friend, you can. We can help you. We are Conspirowin. Conspirowin has a long history of helping anyone with a hidden truth. We will get your message out. The conspiracy theories you see today all started out with one person's vision. The moon landing hoax was launched by a NASA engineer whose manager didn't okay his vacation request. Conspirowin was there to help out. Christianity started out because one little girl named Mary got pregnant out of wedlock, and Conspirowin saved the day. Now, the virgin birth is accepted Catholic doctrine. You may be thinking, but my idea of the center of the earth being made of ice is far-fetched. No one's going to believe that. In a world where people believe windmills cause cancer, we say no dream is too big. Conspirowin will take your fledgling idea and feed it to our YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok operatives. And these savvy social media professionals will raise doubts with the prevailing scientific consensus. They will say no one has ever seen the planet's core except Jesus. And science is wrong all the time. That's why science has theories and not Jesus. Within 30 days, we guarantee you CNN will run a story on how your conspiracy theory isn't true. We will also give you 100% assurance Fox News will say your crazy idea about the Earth's core being an icy ball is true. Follow your heart. Listen to the voices no one else can hear. Team up with Conspirowin.
All right, we're back. I got a thing I've been thinking about, and I'm gonna think if now Chris at thedamnshow.com, friends. If you want to send me an email on this one, if you think about it, we've got friends like Kelly in our chat, who's a recent deconstructee, still in the process of deconstructing. We've got some people who are just brand new at deconstructing. We got some people who are really, really thinking about deconstructing. We got some people who deconstructed a long time ago, and they know some of the hardships that you go through. And so what I was thinking about was trying to, I know this is going to sound weird. I don't mean it to seem pretentious, but I was thinking about starting a support group within our community, the Daily Atheist Morning Show community, for people who are deconstructing. So if you're having questions, or if you're having problems, if you need help or answers or anything, then you can go to this group and post your questions or ask, or maybe they could meet weekly or something like that. Or I don't know, I would be willing to facilitate such a group. I think it could be useful. I think there are people out there who could, shit gets hard. One of the things you may know, especially if you're an atheist, is that one of the things that theists, Christians especially, will do is they will go after you when you're at your lowest. That's their signature move, right? Going at you when you're down. Jesus lifted me up when I was at the very bottom. They go at you when you're down. And that's the whole deal. We don't want people who, when things start getting tough, turn back to their religious beliefs for support. In thinking that it will, because it's not really going to help. I'm just saying, going back to their God creature is just not going to help. Well, at that case, when they're down, we joke about it all the time, prayer doesn't work, right? When they're down, embracing a God creature they no longer believe in or have a hard time is really not going to help. They need a good, real place to go to real people to talk to, real things to do. If it's replacing prayer with note taking or something, you know. And I may not be the best person. Maybe there's already places like that. And what we can do is, if there's already places and groups like that that are reasonably easy to get into, we can refer people to that and be part of that group rather than create our own group or reinvent the wheel. That's just kind of my notion. So, Kelly, good morning, Kelly Shearer. Thank you for joining us. Interesting. I'm just reading through some chats here, checking some stuff. Beard of Empathy, Adam Baum. I am not the person that needs to be told that. Sir, okay, you're talking to somebody else. Got a conversation going. Christianity is of the devil. The Bible gives you no religion. You know, it's interesting how people, and life doesn't stop. No, it doesn't, Kelly. It's interesting how people want to separate. I mean, religion is just a word, right? I mean, it's just a word to describe the phenomenon of a group of people coming together to worship the same thing or the same way, right? You just don't like the word religion because it's a bad word. You've come to understand that religion is bad. It is bad. It's disgusting. And you try to separate yourself from the disgusting aspect and nature of it by saying that Jesus didn't want a religion. Jesus wanted a relationship. Right? Does that sound familiar? If you go read the Bible, Mark is my favorite so far. That's my favorite. You'll see that Jesus really wasn't terribly interested in a personal relationship with anybody. You should go read that yourself. Especially people en masse. He had several times where he had escape routes because he didn't want to be around people. Carry on. Let's see here. Satan translates every Bible story that never happened is a lie. True enough. Let me see if I missed one. Ooh. Evil one is the mood. Chris is the Prince of Peace. Thank you, Flocky, for that. And to surprise Pharaoh's curse. I yes, I do appreciate it. Evil one is the mood. Evil one is the wife. I have to try to remember not to do that in public too much. You know, I refer to people misunderstand because they're used to whenever you speak like an ex-wife like that, it's derogatory. It's not, as you know me, I love my wife. Yeah. And your wife and your wife and your wife over there, because we're sinners. We're sinners. All we do is sit around sinning. I was just sitting there thinking the other day, I can't wait to sin. How do you worship a man who sucked his mother's breast? That's an interesting flex, I guess. Is sucking a breast a weakness? Is that some sort of weakness? I mean, if it is, I am weak. I am very weak. I've been weak all my life. I am just very weak. I'm a very weak man. Let's see the flat earth verse. I'm just checking on our chat here. It's just damned embarrassing. Well, Miss Kelly, I'm looking to see, my chat goes by fast. I try to catch up as to what is embarrassing. One of the things, though, Jewish like you're childish. Jewish you wish. Interesting. Matthew, Genesis 6:5, Noah's Ark dimensions are close to optimal for stability. They're absolutely not. You really should go look. They're really not. They're really not, dude. When you go look for, oh, shit. If you're going to go to arkencounter.com, then of course you will find lots of scientists who will back up that claim, I'm sure. But real scientists will not. They will not. And I mean, if we're gonna give you the credit of Noah's Ark, if you want to push that button and claim that you're God, I'm gonna say this. Let's walk through this really slow. I'm gonna walk through this really slow and see if you feel it. You're Jesus, meek and mild, loving, who is God. He created an entire species of humans. He's perfect, and he created us in his image. And And then 6 chapters in, he's so disgusted with us because every thought from childhood, every thought in our heart from childhood is disgusting. Work with me here, Noah's Ark. That he decided to drown, not blink out of existence mercifully, not none of that. No. He chose to drown everybody. I mean, this is the God creature that you think knows the universe beginning to end. Well, if he does, then why did he create those people anyway? He's just going to have to kill them. And not even in a nice way, right? Can you imagine? All right, check this out. You, my Christian friend, you know the story of Noah's Ark. That's God, that's Jesus, okay? And let's say you wake up tomorrow morning and suddenly you and your family have been transposed backwards in time. And you find yourself in a village just down the road from Noah's Ark, and it's raining. And the doors are closed up. And you and your family get to climb trees and struggle, and you get to pull each other up and work and do what you can to try to survive. Now you, because you're from here, you know what's going on. You know you're not. So let me ask you, when the waters first start and you know the doors of the ark have been closed, you're clearly not part of Noah's family. Let me ask you, when it starts raining, you've woken up, you know what's going to happen. Do you fight it? Do you even struggle at all? Do you tell your children to just relax, just lay down and drown? Just drown. This is what God wants. This is the way God wants you to do. God wants you to drown, my children. Is that what you would do, my Christian friends? Is that how would you feel about your God creature as you watched your children drown? How would you feel? Merciful, loving, forgiving. Yeah. The story of Noah's Ark is not the flex you think it is. It's the flex if you go to like a local Christian daycare. You know, the stories they tell their little children. Oh, yeah, 2 by 2. They went up the ladder up to the ark and they got on the ark 2 by 2 and Noah saved all the animals. Yeah, if you're a kid, if you're an infant, that's a good story. If you're not, go read it again. You will see the God creature saves Noah, spares Noah because Noah was like the only righteous man. And yet Noah was a drunkard. The very first thing he did when he gets off the boat is gets drunk and apparently naked in his own home. And his son sees him naked. And so he curses his innocent grandson and all of his descendants to slavery. So Noah, after he got off the ark, created a vineyard, got drunk. His son Ham saw him naked in his tent, went and told his brothers. The brothers went in and covered him up. When Noah came to, he found out that Ham had seen him naked, and he cursed Ham's son, not Ham, Ham's son, and all of his descendants, who you know as the Canaanites, because something Ham did, not something Canaan did, and something Noah did, because Noah got drunk. Now, there are claims, some people claim, that the saw him naked is actually kind of a metaphor for had sex with his wife. So wait a second. Oopsie. That would actually explain why he would curse his grandson, because his grandson was actually his son and his grandson, right? His wife's son. So if Ham got his own mother pregnant, then you would have Canaan, who would then become the father of the Canaanites, right? And that's bad because incest is bad, right? But Adam and Eve have, their sons have sex with their own sisters to have descendants, so there's incest there. Abram has sex with his own his own sister, his niece, and there's just so much incest throughout the Bible. Why would that incest suddenly be bad? If the reason, well, it's because obviously she, the wife of Noah, belonged to another man, and that's what makes it bad. But these are the best people he could find, worthy of saving. Really? Interesting. And you still don't think it's just absolutely stupid and disgusting, any of it, do you? I mean, There are so many things in there. Like the heroes of the Bible are just, I think almost all of them are horrible people. You would not in our modern society consider them heroes. They would committed atrocities. They were rapists. They were murderers. I mean, they were horrible, horrible people. Abram. You know what Abram did? Let me tell you a little story about Abraham. And yes, my Muslim friend out there who's saying, it's not the same Abraham. It literally is the same Abraham. And you got to know it because you know Ishmael is where you came from, right? Allegedly. So there's this old man. His name is Abram. He is in conference with the Lord. And he can't get his wife pregnant. Don't know why. The Lord don't want it to happen because it only happens when the Lord wants it to happen. Saith the Lord. So he can't get his wife pregnant. So his wife gives him her slave. Now, this is back in a time when the women probably didn't, most people didn't know how to read or write at all, let alone women read or write. So do you think she gave him her slave? Or do you think he took the slave and said it was given to him? Which odds, my friends? Okay, we'll just leave that there. Anyway, so she gave him her slave. We'll give him that. And then he has sex with a slave. And apparently the Lord condoned it because they had a baby. That would be Ishmael. Right? So the Lord must have condoned sex with a slave because he did indeed give them a child, a man-child, in fact. A man-child who would go on to be the father of nations. So that's a blessing from God, the rape of a slave. But it gets better. Abraham's wife is jealous because Hagar has a son that she couldn't provide her husband. So she treats Sarah, this is Sarah, the mother of the Abrahamic religion, if Abraham is the father of the Abrahamic, she treats this slave person. Now, this is a slave. You may try to soften slave, but no, she's a fucking slave. She's already used to the life of being a slave. Sarah treats her so poorly that this slave runs away into the desert. So that tells you how poorly she treated this person. I mean, this is a person already used to being the hardest of the hard. And then the God creature sends his angel to tell her to go back and take the abuse. I'll say it slower. The God creature sent his angel to tell Hagar, the slave, the raped slave, to go back to Abram and his abusive wife. Interesting. And then, because we're not done yet, right? We couldn't possibly be done yet. Couldn't possibly be done yet. Then, lo and behold, Sarah got pregnant. Uh-oh. What does that mean for Ishmael? What does that mean for Hagar? Nothing. This is the father of the Abrahamic religion. He will obviously honor these people that he has taken from, who's created his own son, his rape slave person. He'll honor them and treat them right. Won't he? Won't he? Because he's Abraham, the father of the Abrahamic religion. No, he won't. Sarah gets pregnant. Once her son, Isaac, is old enough to wean, or is weaned, Abraham kicks Hagar and Ishmael out into the desert to die. Oh yeah, David. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, this is one of the things I don't really get. These people wrote these things down back then, thinking these were examples of people who were good and whole. I mean, what? And you have to sit and think, if these were the good people, what the hell was everybody else like? What were the bad people like? You know, I mean, and the God creature, the God you worship, the Christians worship. You know the story of David, where David he killed another man so he could have sex with his wife. He got that wife pregnant. Punishment to David was that David's wives were all raped in public by his own friend. And this child that he had from having sex with that woman, it died. That's his punishment. He didn't get raped in public. His wives did. What did they do? What did they do for this God creature to impose this kind of punishment on them? Do you not know what kind of monster you worship? David's wives were raped publicly. And then David's child was, David was the king, the father of the religion. I mean, Jesus comes from the line of who? Who? Do you have an atheist friend or family member who's a good person and you don't want to see them end up in hell? But now they're on their deathbed. Time is running out. They've been there for you and now you want to be there for them. But how can you save them from your all-loving, forgiving God and its eternal lake of fire? Well, fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of Atheist Deathbed Conversion Bibles. No more worries of loved ones meeting their resolution without absolution. Now you too can force your faith on the weak and helpless in their final moments. Father Flanagan's line of Atheist Deathbed Conversion Bibles are designed specifically for the weak and infirmed. Extra large type for failing eyes, seeing their last. Deluxe editions come complete with a post-mortem Mother Teresa would have approved baptismal kit. Also available in heathen and heretic versions. Father Flanagan's line of Atheist Deathbed Conversion Bibles. Coming to a Walmart near you. Now see, here's our friend Sohail Khan talking about this guy's blasphemous, and I would file a complaint just looking at his channel. David, have sex with your mother. Interesting. Let me just put those up on the screen for you guys so you can see them too. There you go. But what did I just talk about, David? That's Sohail. Am I wrong? Was I wrong? I'm just pointing out, I just pointed out that David, the lineage from whence Jesus comes, blah, 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 blah. David, he murdered a man so he could have sex with his wife. And then the God's punishment for that was to have David's wives raped in public and to kill his son, not to do anything to David. Is that blasphemous? Is it wrong? Go look. Is it wrong? Is it moral? Does that make your God moral? Is that moral of your God to do that? To punish women. Just imagine. I don't know, dude, Sohail, just imagine, man. Just imagine you robbed a bank or some shit. And when you got home, there were the police. And they went in there, they pulled your wives out into the street and they raped them right there in the street. They went in the back and they killed your son, who was just a newborn baby. And then they left and didn't do anything to you. Is that moral? Would that be moral to you? Is that moral to you? This is the actions of your God creature. Is it moral to you? I'm blasphemous. I'm just pointing out the truth. You just don't see it. And because it is truly as ugly and disgusting as I say it is, you recoil. You guys have been fantastic. Tomorrow is Friday, the day of fries. Let me read our super chats. I do want to. God is indeed a big meanie. That's true. God's a big meanie. Yeah. Sky Daddy loves me and he wants me in his bed. That's true. Or at least wants to watch you in his bed. Guys, all right. I love you. You're all wonderful. Send safely, my friends. Take care. Tomorrow's Friday. We're going to have a good weekend. Everybody's going to be fun. Think about it. If any of my friends have an idea on what we were talking about, like forming a little support group for people who are deconstructing, Chris at The Damn Show, send me an email and we'll try to organize something. Or if you already know of such a support group that we could refer to people to and that we could shill on our show, let me know, because I feel like we do get people here who need help. Not need, we want help. We want to make it easy. Also, I'm going to do our Discord in the chat. So Flockmeister and Miss Non Sequitur both do take care of our Discord, as well as other people, of course. Join them in our Discord. And let's see. Secular Peeliness, you're so cute. So, so go do that. And I'll reread our super chats real quick. Let's see what we've got today. We had Secular Feelinist, wow, kicking in the door early with the coin, celebrating 13 months of membership. Praise Thor, bringer of heavy metal. Thank you, Secular Feelinist. I'm touched. You're wonderful. Hyper said atheists are... Now remember, friends, I'm going to read these. I do read super chats from theists. So Hyper says, atheists actually believe that God exists. Projection. I believe Christians say that because they don't truly believe their God exists. They're just self-soothing. Anyway, they just hate him, but they can't do anything to him, so they attack what he said or his people. And then I went through explaining how all the things that his people do to oppress other people. He said, for another $5, the money is for you. Be blessed, but not the words are not for you. And then later on, he came back to say, even though after I went through all the ways, not all, clearly not all the ways, man, not all the ways, but enough ways to demonstrate how his people are oppressing us and how we're reacting to the struggle of them oppressing us, he still reiterated with another $5 that said, the commercials, the crude jokes, every time you say hi or say his name. As I said, attacking his word and his people because you can't hurt him. That's not why I do it. And I think I gave a very good reason why I attack his word and his people. So, but apparently, as I explained, literally as I was explaining why, I was like, you know what? You're not going to care about any of these reasons at all. It doesn't matter to you. You don't want to hear them. You're just going to ignore it anyway. So blah. And then he demonstrated that exactly for me shortly later with that super chat that just reiterated literally the same thing he first said with no alteration whatsoever. Flockmeister said, Chris studies the Bible, so we don't have to. That's right. My eyes, they burn. You know, you don't know what it means for a sinner like me to go, you know, you would, isn't that weird? You would almost think, right, that like the Bible would hurt the eyes of the wicked. Now, there's the eyes of the wicked who are looking to seek the word of God. Clearly, that would not hurt their eyes. It would be comforting and peaceful on their eyes. But the wicked who are looking into the Bible to pull out hate and ugly and use against it, you would think it would make their eyes hurt or something, right? We can even think about that. And like, I mean, no power there to God. Well, that's what you get when you make up a God and it doesn't exist. Thank you for the super. Secular Fearless said, surprise Pharaoh's curse. Yes, I did that. I fat fingered that one. And then Flockmeister, evil one is the mood. Chris is the prince of pieces. I get it. You meant evil one is in the mood. Chris is the prince of peace. I get it. I want to share that with why. You have a wonderful day, my friends. I hope everything goes great for you Christians, my Christian friends. See reason. Step back. Look how ridiculous the stuff you believe is. Just stupid. Just sin safely, my friends. We'll see you tomorrow.
Got a house that smells like old cheese and shame.
Russell, nice to see you, Russell. We got a new subscriber. Russell, welcome to the damnation, fellow burner. We'll see you tomorrow.
Got a house that smells like old cheese and shame. Father Flanagan's flesh candles change the game. Goat-scented thrills for your soul's delight. Light it up, baby, make your room right. When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan, here to set the tone. Confession booths, busy, no need to stress. Light a candle and forget your mess. Gross odors vanish like sins in the wind. With each wick, guess who's your new best friend? When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan, here to set atone. Lambs and calves may have their day, but goats, the scent that leads the way. Clean your slate with a sniff so pure. Father Flanagan's got the cure. Turn your home into a saintly space. With every whiff, find redeeming grace.